day 6, right? 6 days until Valentine's Day, and I'm working my way through a list of recipes that have been whittled down for 2 people, maybe 3, and one of them 4, because you can't have enough of this recipe. So we're whittling them down, making it easier for you to have dessert for 2 on Valentine's Day. And today's recipe is a cheesecake, and it is a no-bake cheesecake, right? And I chose a no-bake cheesecake because it's easy, it's fast. You prep it, leave it in the refrigerator, and forget about it, and then go about your business, right? And the second reason is because none of us need an entire cheesecake lying around. We just don't. So here we go. Really simple. You're going to start with your crust, and then we're going to go ahead and make our filling. So for your crust, you need a cookie. I've got some graham cracker crumbs here, just some graham crackers ground up. If you have Oreos lying around, right? If you have animal crackers, if you have vanilla wafers, any kind of cookie will do. You just want to make sure it's nice and ground up into a nice dusty powder like so. You're going to need some butter to go ahead and moisten that, right? So that we can pack it in. And then of course, some sugar, some sweetener. I've got here a tablespoon of brown sugar. So I've got about a 1/3 cup of cookie crumb, tablespoon of brown sugar, and about 2 ounces of butter. I may not need all of the butter, but we just want to make sure we can go ahead and pack that into our crust. So that is our foundation, right? That's the bottom. Then for the actual cream cheese filling for your cheesecakes, we're making a cream cheese cheesecake. There are different kinds that you can make, right? But we're doing cream cheese. You need some cream cheese, and you want your cream cheese at room temperature. You're going to need some sugar. You're going to need some heavy cream, and then you're going to whip it. Now, very different. The difference between the temperatures of your whipped cream and your cream cheese. Your cream cheese, you want it at room temperature because it will be a lot easier to mix in the other ingredients. Your whipping cream, you want that to be cold, chilled, right? Because we're going to need to whip it, and it will not whip. You won't get the proper volume if it's not cold, right? I even chill my beaters here, but I already went ahead and whipped that, so we didn't have to deal with the mixer on for so long. And then I like to top my cheesecakes with something a little tart. So I've got some freeze-dried raspberry here that I'm just going to crush on top. And that, of course, is optional. All right, so we're going to begin with our crust. Here is our crust. I'm going to go ahead and put in my tablespoon of brown sugar. Whoa! It's okay that it went into the butter because we're going to put that in there as well. So that's going to go in there. And you're going to go ahead, make sure that that brown sugar gets blended in. You don't want chunks of sugar. All right, you're going to blend that in, and it's going to look like wet sand. Okay, so if you've ever been to the beach and you're standing on the edge of the ocean there, that wet sand, that's what we're looking for. You should be able to press it together, right? So here it is, it's in my hand, wet sand. If I press it together, it's going to make a mess, all right? So that's what we're looking for our crust. Now, I mentioned in my video yesterday that I love ramekins. Lots and lots of ramekins on hand. So I'm going to use the ramekin that had the butter in it. It's perfectly fine. And then a separate ramekin. And I'm going to take, this mixture is really enough for 3 to 4 crusts. I'm going to make 2. If you like a thicker crust, by all means, add more. And then you're just going to go ahead and press that in to the bottom of your ramekin. Press it right in. Nice and even. Just like that. Okay, pressed in. Now, I know that this is a no-bake cheesecake. However, if you'd like a more firm crust, you can go ahead and bake these at 325 for about 5 minutes. And then you'll have a nice firm crust when you eat your dessert. If you don't mind having a little bit of crumble in there, then don't bake it, okay? So again, if you're baking it 5 minutes, out of the oven, let it cool. All right, so we're done with our graham cracker crust. Then we are going to go ahead and get to our cheesecake filling. So here is my cream cheese. It's about 4 ounces of cream cheese. It's nice and soft at room temp, just like that. You get that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and just press it in. There's my cream cheese. Into my cream cheese, I'm going to add my sugar. And I've got about 1 ounce of sugar, which is about 2 tablespoons. Got that in there. And you can mix it because it's only, you know, it's a small recipe. You can do this by hand, or you can use your hand blender. If you're going to do it by hand, I recommend getting a whisk. I just like to do the initial with my rubber spatula. The rubber spatula, I'll get to this in a minute, why I have this on hand rather than just the whisk. Okay, so here we are. I am going to use my trusty blender, only because I want to get a little bit of air into my mixture. Right? We're going to whip it up. The mixer is going to give it some, it's going to aerate it, make it a little more fluffy. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So you want to make sure you have no lumps, okay, which is why you want to start off with room temperature cream cheese. Nobody wants any lumpy pieces of cream cheese in their mixture. So see how it's nice and smooth, okay? So into that mixture, you're going to go ahead and scrape it off the sides. And then that heavy cream that we whipped up before, we're going to fold it in. This is why we have a rubber spatula. Now, folding is very different than mixing. With folding, it's actually, if you picture yourself folding clothing, right? It's a literal fold, right? So if you're mixing is this action. You mix, 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 right? Folding is more like unfold, okay? So I threw, my whipped cream is sitting there on top, and you're going to make a line through the center and literally fold it over, right? And then you turn your bowl, line through the center, fold it over. We do this so that we don't deflate our heavy cream. We work so hard to aerate and whip some, put some air in there, and then our cream cheese as well. We don't want to deflate it, right? It's going to add to the fluffiness, to the lightness of the recipe. So you're going to fold it. You're not going to mix it in. Now, if you mix it in, is it the end of the world? Is the recipe ruined? No, it just won't be as light and fluffy as we want it to be, okay? So you're going to go ahead until it's completely combined. Okay, and then we're going to put in a dash of vanilla. It's more like an eighth, just a drop. You don't want the vanilla to overwhelm. See how nice and airy and whipped this is? This goes right into our crust. So here are my crusts. I did not bake them. And you're going to scoop it in right in there. Oops. And you do your best to level it out. Because unlike when you bake the cheesecake, when you bake it, it will settle in. This one will not settle in to your ramekin, so you just want to make sure it's nice and smooth. You're just going to smooth that out. You can actually give it a little tap to help it settle in. And I'm going to finish it off with my freeze-dried raspberries. If you don't like raspberries, you can always do strawberries, freeze-dried blueberries. I just figured, not only do I love berries Berries and cream are the way to my heart. But it's red, it's beautiful. Valentine's Day is festive, so just a little bit of a crumble, raspberry right on top. If you like more than that, you can actually put a whole raspberry on there. Right? So there you have it. No bake, raspberry, cream cheese. You set these in the refrigerator for about 3 hours and you are good to go. All right, everyone. This is Chef Eileen with my countdown to Valentine's Day. This is day 6, our no bake cheesecake. I'll see you tomorrow for day 5.